Hey everybody, welcome back. Craig Peterson here on WGAN and of course online, craigpeterson.com. Hopefully we were able to catch the first hour of today's show. We covered something in this last segment that I really kind of wanted to go more in depth into, which is this secret company that has kind of come out of left wing that is going to really end privacy as we know it. And of course, they're breaking rules and laws already to put the silly thing together. And it really, really bothers me, frankly. But above that, right? Really from above, looking at all of this, what's really bothering me is, frankly, I don't know, we'd call it apathy, where we just don't seem to care that much anymore. Obviously, we care when we hear about a data breach, and we care when we find out that our personal information has been stolen. And part of what I'm going to be teaching you here in a couple of weeks in this course is how you can tell what information of yours has been stolen. So I'm going to give you some dark web tools, the dark internet, so that you know where to find out if your information has been stolen. And I think that's important. So we're going to include that in the upcoming webinar. We might put that in as a bonus for attending the webinar coming up in a couple of weeks. But it really is disturbing that we can hear about something like what I just talked about last segment, which you'll find online at my website. That, to me, is very bothersome. But it's also disturbing that we're no longer getting our ire up and trying to get Congress or somebody to do something about it. Not that I think Congress is the answer, well, to anything. Pretty much, right? Anything they touch, they're going to mess up. But because we're becoming apathetic as business owners as well, as business people, as the person who all of a sudden now is responsible for IT within the organization, right? The office managers, those of us who like computers and we kind of got stuck with the role. And that's kind of what ended up happening to me too those years ago. Right, I think I'm a lot like you in that respect, that, you know, it's difficult to be an expert in everything. I've got to kind of run the office. I got to make sure the wheels are greased. How am I going to learn about all of this security stuff? And then on top of it, the boss is breathing down our necks, trying to get this security stuff done, right? And if you're a business owner, you're worried about it too. But what are you doing about it? And you're probably like most people out there, and you really haven't done much. You've probably got antivirus software, which as of now is completely useless against the newest attacks. I mean, 100% useless. Why do you think they're giving Norton away now when you buy a subscription to LifeLock? You know, it doesn't do any good anymore. That's great technology 20 years ago, but today it just doesn't work. So we're collectively, as office managers, as business owners, even as C-levels on boards in fair-sized little companies, we're kind of burying our head in the sand. And we're hoping nothing's going to happen. Right? I'm going into companies frequently that are, governed by various rules and regulations. And they aren't doing what the rules and regulations require. And they're just sitting there saying, well, we'll just wait for an audit. And when an audit happens, if an audit happens, we'll deal with it then, right? But what happens when your data is stolen? There are some crazy things going on right now. We have a client that we picked up last year, and they, it's just incredible. They have now a completely new network system. We've really fixed up a lot of things for them. I think things are going to be much better for them. And we got an alert from our systems that they were getting 4,000 hack attempts an hour coming from Iran, coming from India. Iran, this is the first time I've got to say, the very first time in all of the years now that I've been responsible for cybersecurity for all these businesses, this is the first time that I have ever actually seen an Iranian IP address used attacking. They were actually trying to log into this guy's email account, so one of the employees. And I'm not going to go into any more detail than that, but this is real. And just because you're hearing about breaches every week, and there are more breaches every week, and it's small businesses, large businesses, home users, just because there's breaches every week, I want everybody to be aware that that doesn't mean that it's acceptable. It may be kind of normal. Hopefully, it's the old normal. Hopefully, you're going to be able to find somebody that's going to be able to help you out, right? You go to a company like mine and you say, hey, listen, just take care of this for me. Or you attend some of my courses so that you can learn some of this stuff that you need to do, at least the bare minimum. Hopefully, you're doing that. And we're not just getting passive in all of this because we're hearing about it so much, right? What's that saying? That first you're absolutely shocked and horrified by something, and then you become accustomed to it, and then you embrace it. Not that I'm saying you guys are going to embrace hacking and become hackers, right? I don't think that'll ever happen, but you just get used to that idea until you do get hacked, and then it's all done and over with. So anyways, enough of that right now. Make sure you're on my email list so you get my weekly alerts, you get my monthly summaries of the absolute must-do patches for that month, and you will also find out about these pop-up trainings. I haven't been sending out direct notices about the Facebook Lives and things. I probably should. But you can get all of that just by going to craigpeterson.com/subscribe, because we've got some really great stuff coming up here in a couple of weeks. We're going to do some of the training and webinars to go along with it. I want to move on now to an article that was over on CNN's website, and it's talking about a major change in a major U.S. corporation. In fact, I was on the phone with them earlier today. And here's what's going on. We've got VRBO. You might have heard of them. That's Vacation Rentals by Owner. They've been around since 95. You may not have heard of them, but they've been around a long time. Airbnb, you probably heard about them. And you've probably heard about Marriott. They've been busy buying up hotel chains, including one chain in particular that was badly hacked, and Marriott just really inherited all of the problems by buying that company. Another thing to keep in mind, everybody, if you're looking to do some acquisitions and doing growth that way. But what's really interesting is, how do you deal with a company like Marriott that is totally bricks and mortar? How do you deal with the online startups like the VRBOs and the Airbnbs? It is completely changing the way the hospitality business works. And I kind of put hospitality in air quotes there. You probably didn't see me. But is it really hospitality when all you have is a home that you're going into, an apartment you're going into, versus a full functional hotel, right? That's the big question. So this is cool, I think, because Marriott has decided to not try and beat Airbnb at its own game. It's going to join them. April last year, Marriott came out with its Homes and Villas program, and it has 5,000 rentable premium and luxury homes in almost 200 locations around the world. It is absolutely amazing. It's a big departure for Marriott. They've been offering hotel rooms for nearly 100 years. But in this case now, they are basically doing what Airbnb and VRBO have been doing, which is offering these homes up. And this is a part of the whole sharing economy, bikes, scooters, and homes. That's a quote from Stephanie Lennart. She's Marriott's Global Chief Commercial Officer. When she told CNN, home rentals and B&Bs have been around for decades, so the core idea itself isn't that new. The new part is technology platforms bringing it to consumers at scale so that it's democratized and affordable. So Marriott's already had success, obviously, through its hotel business. And as I said, I was on the phone with them this morning. I'm going to be staying in one of their hotels again. But the company is being led here by Stephanie outside of the brand's comfort zone. a brick and mortar, it's great. They've been around for almost 100 years, but everything is changing out there. And are you changing in your business? Are you making it easy for your customers to do business with you? And that's what they were asking themselves. They've been kind of tracking and watching the home rental market. She had a pilot program going over in Europe in 2018 that became ultimately this Homes and Villas program that they had. They found that their most loyal customers at Marriott, 30% of them had used a home rental in the prior year. I've used Airbnb. I've used VRBO. And, frankly, I've had mixed results from the two of those different things. And they found out 9 times out of 10, this person was renting a home for a whole different purpose, and they were getting that from someone else. And Marriott thinks that this is a complementary business and adds to their core business. So isn't that kind of interesting? People stay more than triple the average 1.5 night stays at the hotels in these different types of bookings, and they think that they are going to be able to do a whole lot more there. They're focusing on some of these millennial trends, and frankly, I'm an OG, but I got to tell you, boomers aged 23% of travelers is age 55 to 64 booked a home stay, up from 21% in 2017. So it's happening. We're all doing it out there. And congratulations to Marriott for sticking their neck out. And frankly, you might need to too. So keep an eye out for what are other people doing in competing industries and maybe borrow their ideas. You're listening to Craig Peterson on WGAN, and we'll be right back. In fact, we're going to talk a little bit about lawmakers and what small businesses are telling them right now.